The next person is Ken Zhang. Ken, are you a junior or senior? Junior. A junior at Clayton High School, is that right? And Ken's going to talk about some work he's done in India.
Good morning. My name is Ken, the English version of Kaizo. I came to St. Louis from China when I was 8 years old, without knowing a single word of English. Last year, I went on a trip to India, which reminded me of the poverty that I saw in China. Many of the people I saw were living without their basic needs, such as water. Because the slums of Mumbai reaffirmed for me how much we have and how much we should be doing with it. Many people in India, China, and elsewhere don't have access to clean, fresh water. In India, to brush my teeth, to quench my thirst, I had to use bottled water. As you heard from Melissa, there are many alarming facts about water, so I won't repeat them again. But here we are, in a region with some of the world's best tap water. And all around me, I see people using disposable water bottles for convenience. Often, I include myself in this group. Today, I have a reusable and refillable water bottle. And I encourage all of you, if you aren't already doing so, to use one of these. Bottled water in India is a necessity, but here, it's just one more bad habit. My group of high school and middle school students who went to India was called C Cubed, which stands for Community, Conservation Science, and Connections. Our goal in India was to establish a connection with the DAV school system in order to form a long alliance in order to research water quality improvement projects. What struck me the most was when we got out of the airport and I saw the beggars laying on self-woven mats with ribs against the taut, sunburned and grimy skin. They only looked at me with helpless and desolate expressions, and I could only exchange helpless glances with my peers. We went to the Coach, their national science fair, and we presented a water quality improvement symposium in order to see if we could encourage them and also try to determine what kids can do locally and globally in order to improve water quality. Our trip to India was a culmination of many past trips. The high school students have restored riparian corridors and removed invasive species at the Grand Teton National Park and Canyonlands National Park. We believe water is one of the most important resources in the world, and it is very worth saving. And in this century, it has been called blue gold. Our trip to India showed us the importance of what we have been learning about ecology and environmental preservation. At the Code, we presented and proposed a partnership of students dedicated and passionate about water. We invited the Indian students to help us determine what we should be doing as a global community. Now, we're finalizing their reciprocal visit this September, and we continue to work on a website in order to enhance international communication. Our long-term plan includes a several-year relationship with Indian students so that we may continue to do international and global work. Our plan for next year includes sharing community research projects and water research projects, as well as strengthening our overall connection. We're eager for their arrival and the work we can accomplish. Globalization has struck the world. Now, we, as a world, must embrace it and mold it into a force to tackle even the most complex problems. Mrs. Sandra Sermos, the founder of C Cubed, attaches this following quote by Baba Dion at the end of every email she sends. In the end, we will save only what we love love only what we know, and know only what we study and understand. We have started with water. Thank you.
I'm finding as I'm listening that it's a little bit frustrating because I really like to kind of engage each of you in a pretty extended conversation. I just want to ask one question, Ken, because there was some part of what you were talking about that echoed something that Melissa had talked about. So when you went there, you really found people who were really working on this, and you could really work with them. It wasn't a matter that you came with answers. You know, you came with an intention to build partnership. What was that like? Building the kind of the relationship, building the partnership with the Indian students. Did it surprise you, or what did you learn from the kind of working together? Your quote at the end, obviously, kind of stresses that so much. We have to know each other.
Right. That was the foundation or the concept behind CQ, which was that we had to build communities within our own region, and then connect them with other international communities in order to do conservation science.
Yeah.
But, I mean, going there, it was really shocking to see them. I mean, I kind of expected an awkward relationship with them, but their social adeptness and conversational skills were very proficient. And their hospitality was one thing that really struck me too, because I mean, we were put in a 4-star hotel, and I mean, they had all the little details planned out, so it was really amazing.
Yeah, it's a really important part of that culture, to really be hosts to people.
Yeah.
And it's a very social culture. I remember once when I was traveling in India by train, it really struck me, you go into these train stations like 11 o'clock at night, and of course, full of people everywhere. But you almost never saw anybody by themselves. That's why my kind of first enduring memory of India is everybody was with somebody else. Remember once there was a couple that got on the train, 1 o'clock in the morning. I think they'd just gotten married. But there were like 25 people who got on the train with them just to see them off and then left. And for me, one of the things that's really striking, and I kind of hear a little bit in your examples, that you start to realize, socially speaking, there's a lot we can learn. Because in many ways, we're a little more isolated from one another sometimes. And
I mean, personal space in India was like a unknown concept. Yeah. Pretty much.
yeah, but while it's a little bit daunting, it's also, at least for me, this extraordinary sense of friendliness is what really, and it's been my experience often in a lot of poorer countries. You expect it to be, I mean, the physical conditions are really rough, but people really know how to take care of each other, and they're very friendly, incredibly friendly.
I mean, yeah, and technology like cell phones and emails, those things are designed to connect us, but in some ways we're more isolated than ever.
Yeah. Thank you very much.